Hey you guys, it's your local real estate expert Joanna Arnold right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And in today's video, I want to go over the January 2023 stats of what happened in our real estate market. So I know a lot of people have been on the fence when it comes to real estate, and they're very hesitant about what's going on in the market, whether it comes to buying a property or selling a property or really just investing in real estate as well. So today I want to jump into the numbers since we finally got all of the numbers in from January 2023, and let's take a look at where we are. So I always like to show people kind of where I get the numbers from. So I'm going to take you guys into one of my systems that I use in the MLS so that you can get a better idea of where numbers are coming from and where we pull data from. So what I'm doing right now is I have the Greater Baton Rouge and also the East Baton Rouge Parish pulled up for us to take a look at. We're going to look at all price ranges because we want to know everything that's going on everywhere. We're also going to look at all properties, okay? We're doing all ages, all bedrooms, all seller types. So if you want something specific for yourself, for your neighborhood, for your home, feel free to reach out to me and I can get that to you exclusively for your particular neighborhood. But for today's video in the real estate market's sake, we're going to stick to these details so that we can get a good idea. So my key indicators when I'm looking to see what's going on in the market are going to be the sales price, the new listings, the days on market, month supply, and percent to list price. Percent to list price is going to be how much the house actually sold for percentage wise for the list price. So what we listed it for opposed to what it actually sold for. So that's a number that I like to look at because we can see what the market is doing and how buyers are reacting to the sales prices. So when we look at the sales price here in East Baton Rouge, and if you guys look at this graph, we're going to have we're looking at over 3 years, but we're really focused in on January. But so we have the red line as the Greater Baton Rouge area, and we're going to have our grayish looking line as the East Baton Rouge area. So when we look here in January, what we're seeing is that in East Baton Rouge Parish, right, in January, the average sales price on a property was $353,210. In Greater Baton Rouge, it was $321,047. So what I want to do is I always like to take a look back the year before and see where we were. So if we look back to January 2022, we were at $281,000 in East Baton Rouge and $271 in Greater Baton Rouge. So that is a significant increase in average sales price. We can go even further back to January of 2021 when the real estate market was really, ramped up and inventory was super low. We were at an average sales price of $256,000. So home prices have significantly increased, and if you bought a house within the last 3 years, you have seen a lot of equity come into your property. So even in 2020, we were only at $232,000 for our average sales price in East Baton Rouge. All right, so that shows us that we have experienced appreciation. I know a lot of people are saying that sales prices are going to decrease because of interest rates, and that's the news that we've been hearing. But if you take a look at this, the data really says something a little different. So keep that in mind, especially if you're going into selling your property, that you still have equity in your home right now. And you can definitely negotiate on some things with buyers, but there's equity there, and your home has appreciated over the last several years. Okay. So let's take a look at how many new listings we had come on the market. So for new listings in 2023, January, we had 477 new listings came on the market, and overall in Greater Baton Rouge, 907. So that's pretty good. But if we take a look back to 2022, we actually had 547, 1,072 for Greater Baton Rouge. And then when we go back, we had even more than that. We had 605 in January 2021. And then we go back to 2020, and we had 706 at new listings that hit the market in January. So as you can see, we have decreased significantly over time. So we are still in a lower inventory market compared to where we were in the past 3 years. Okay. So we want to look at some of our closed sales as well. Let's check that out. Let's look at closed sales. So Greater Baton Rouge, we're actually down, in East Baton Rouge, we're down in closed sales. So we have less inventory, but we're selling less homes. So we have 267 homes that were closed in January of 2023, 513 overall in Greater Baton Rouge. When we go here, January 2022, we had 438. So if you guys see, that's a significant, almost over 200 homes, right? And then we're going to go back to 2021 because it's always interesting to look at the data. We had 434 compared to 438 compared to 267. So then 2020, there were actually 344 homes. So we had the most closed sales within the last 2 years, 2021 and 2022 in January of 2023. And now we're at 267 homes that have actually been sold. So days on market is also important too. We're going to look at average days. So that's how long homes are sitting on the market before they actually go under contract. So we always like to take a look at that data to prepare my sellers for how long it could possibly take to sell your property. So East Baton Rouge has 62 average days on market, okay? And then Greater Baton Rouge has about 60. So it's pretty equal across the board, across Baton Rouge. So as you can see, just looking at the graph, you can see it's went all the way down and then now we're back up. So when we look in January of 2022, we had 31 days on the market. So it's pretty much almost double from where we were. Then when we go back to 2021, we were at 61 days on the market. So, I mean, it's almost fairly the same here in 2023 as it was in 2021. But then we go back up until we have January of 2020. We had 76 days on the market, okay? So the market is really starting to get a little more stabilized. Homes are sitting a little longer than what they were within the past 2 years. Inventory is still down. So it's still a market. To me, I feel like is an even market. Is even for the sellers and for the buyers. Sellers do have equity in their properties, but buyers also have the leeway to negotiate now, which they did not have in the past 2 years due to rates and inventory. Okay. And so the last thing that I want to look at is percent to list price. So what is our average percent to list price? As you guys can take a look at this graph, you see we were at the lower part in 2020 and we are back lower, actually a little lower than we were in 2020. So percent to list price is what you actually listed the house for and what it actually sold for. What percentage of the list price did you actually get? When it comes to this number, you also have to keep in mind that people make price changes as well. So sometimes this is not from the original list price. It could be a price that they reduced it to and is going based off of that data. So right now, January 2023, people are getting 97% to list price. So that's pretty good. Greater Baton Rouge is getting 97.6 to list price. So if you haven't made any price reductions and your home goes under contract within maybe the first few weeks, you're probably going to get at least 97% of that original list price. But like I say, keep in mind that there are price reductions made. So let's go back to January of 2022. We were at 98.4%. So we were closer to the actual 100% of the list price. But if we go back to 2021, we see that we were at 97.5, right? So we did see a significant increase going from year to year. But when we go back to 2020, we see 97.2. So just reading this data for me as a real estate agent, it lets me know that in January, because we follow trends, that number one, inventory is definitely lower in that time. We have less pending sales right now as of 2023, but people are still getting significantly close to their list price of their properties. So I'm going to end it out with that, you guys. I feel like that's a lot of information that I just unpacked. But if you have any questions, any concerns, don't forget to follow me on social media or YouTube at Joe Knows BR. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of those platforms. And like I said, if you want a customized report about your house, or if you would like to set up a free home buyer strategy, a free home selling strategy, or an investing strategy, feel free to connect with us over here at the Arnold Group. We are happy to help you. You guys have a great day.